I am Dr. Nikhil Datar. We are in Pregnancy, Myths and Truths. And today we are going to talk of coffee and pregnancy. Well, what does coffee do to our body? Coffee contains caffeine. This is a natural stimulant. It causes our heart rate to go up a little bit more. Blood pressure can rise a little bit. You will pass more amount of urine. Sometimes people might get some heartburn, especially in the later part of the day. If the coffee is consumed, then one might find it difficult to fall off to sleep. Does coffee have any bad effect on the baby in the womb? Well, it does have a bad effect in the womb if you have consumed coffee in excess amount of quantity. There is a clear evidence to show that if you have consumed more than 800 milligrams of caffeine in a day, that's about 8 cups and more of coffee in a day, then it can give rise to bad effects onto the baby in the womb. And this bad effect can be in the form of stillborns, in the form of baby not growing well in terms of the weight, miscarriages, etc. So how much of coffee is okay for a non-pregnant adult person to have? There is a data which says that it is more or less all right to have about 400 milligrams of caffeine. That's about 4 cups of coffee in a day. So then why should pregnant patients have less amount of coffee or caffeine? Well, during pregnancy, the metabolism or the digestion of the caffeine slows down. Moreover, this caffeine directly crosses over the placenta and goes to the baby. Now, the baby in the womb, the baby's body does not have the required enzymes to digest this caffeine, which means this caffeine will get accumulated in the baby's body and it will give rise to trouble or the problem. So, how much of coffee or caffeine is safe for a pregnant woman to have? Well, there is a lot of data available on this. The NHS of UK, the National Health Services of UK, say that it is all right for a pregnant woman to consume up to around 200 milligrams of caffeine in a day. The WHO says that it is fine to have about 300 milligrams of caffeine in a day, which means about 2 cups of coffee is fine to be had in a day by a pregnant woman, and there is evidence on this particular subject. Let me tell you about the caffeine content of various drinks that we have. By far and large, a filter coffee can have up to about 100 milligrams of caffeine per cup. An instant coffee can range between 60 to 100 milligrams. Tea also has caffeine, but less in amount, about 60 milligrams. The energy drinks and the colas also have caffeine, but little less in quantity, somewhere around 50 milligrams in a day. So when you are calculating the intake of caffeine, you need to calculate all these things together, and then you will come to that conclusion that you are not exceeding about 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is equal to about 2 cups of coffee in a day. Decaf has a less amount of caffeine. So here are some strategies for those people who want to reduce the caffeine intake during the day. As and what I said, you could have decaf and trick your body in that particular sense so that you consume less amount of caffeine in a day. And second good thing that you could do is that you could reduce the portion, that is reduce the cup size, or you might want to have half cup on multiple occasions. And these are the ways by which you can reduce the coffee intake or overall caffeine intake. So girls and boys, enjoy your cup, but in amount that is permissible during pregnancy.